Welcome to the Marketing Made Simple podcast, and today I would like to take a different approach with a less scripted and more conversational podcast to talk about this amazing video that I just showed. So today's topic is about the Doggface208 effect and how to create viral content. So if you were only listening to the podcast and you didn't see the video, but you are a digital enthusiast and love to follow the trends, you probably know the video that I was playing just by the song. And if you are on podcasts, I really recommend you to go on YouTube to my channel and watch the video to know what I'm talking about. So what is this video about? So this video is about a random guy in the US that was going to work, skateboarding down the road, drinking his juice, listening to an old song, and then suddenly the video got viral. Everyone was sharing, everyone was commenting, everyone was remaking it, doing their own version of the video. So this guy from Idaho named Nathan, he recorded this video on TikTok in the beginning of October, and the video was so nice, so authentic that people really enjoyed, especially during these pandemic times. And now he's doing interviews and getting really famous all over the US and all over the world just because of this video. And he says he was inspired by Gary Vee, another amazing content creator that I follow a lot. And he always says this, Gary Vee always says that every single person should be sharing and putting out content nowadays. And a few things to highlight from this video. First, he was drinking a juice, a cranberry juice, I think it was cranberry, from the brand Ocean Spray. And now, if you check on the internet, this brand got millions of views. People were talking about the brand, and people are actually buying the same juice he was drinking just to remake the video, to do their own version of the videos drinking the same juice. And another thing from this video, he was playing an old song named Dreams by Fleetwood Mac Band that was released originally in 1977. And now, go on YouTube and put Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. You see, they got more than 140 million views on this song at the moment. So just to give you an idea on how a simple video can get so much attention, and so much attention to brands, to songs, to anything, any element that's it's in the video. And now the guy got famous, everyone is talking about the brand, and a lot of people is saying that this is their favorite song at the moment. So I wrote down 5 points that I want to discuss with you here in this video, in this podcast, to understand how is the process of creating viral content, why everyone gets so excited to create viral content, and what is everything behind viral content that you can take for yourself, you can use in your brand, you can use in your strategy as a marketing professional. So let's go to the first point that I wrote down here. What are the chances for a content to get viral? So millions of contents are created every single day around the world. And the chances for them to get viral is very, very, very minimal. Very few content gets viral. And no one, not a single person, not a single brand can consistently create viral content. I don't know any brand or anyone that creates every single day or every single month a new viral content. So let's go to the second point. Let's talk about a few brands that are known to create good viral content and what they have in common that you can replicate or to try to create viral content. And in my opinion, I can mention Burger King, Pepsi, and Red Bull. Whenever I think viral content from brands, I think about Burger King, Pepsi, and Red Bull. They create amazing content, and from time to time, they get noticed by the content, the campaigns that they create, and everyone talks about it. So what they have in common that they can create from time to time is not always some viral or content that everyone resonates to it. So first, they have and they create really strong messages that connects with their target audience. They don't create random message, funny videos or emotional videos just to get attention, just to get viral. They create content relevant to their audience, and for that reason, people like, people enjoy, and people share, engage, comment about it, and gets really attention from the audience because they are talking to them. They are talking their language. They are talking to their with things that they identify with. Another thing that they always use is they usually work with humor, funny things, funny videos, or emotions. Either love, care, passion, everything that can create a strong connection with the audience. The second thing that they have in common, as I said, they don't randomly use or just use humor or emotion to create viral content. But they use these tools, these elements, as a trigger to create stronger connection. So humor and emotions are psychological triggers. And psychological triggers I explained in my past 2 podcasts. So I really recommend you to go back there and watch it and listen to the podcast. That I have amazing content there. So making use of these psychological triggers can easily or can intensify the possibility of your content to get viral, to get noticed, to create this stronger connection with your audience. So basically what they have in common is to create valuable content for their audience. That means create content that their audience can resonate to it, and also make use of the psychological triggers, especially humor and emotions. So let's go to the third point that I wrote down here. Viral content is consistent content. So what does that mean? The process of creating viral content starts with creating a lot of content. You're not gonna create one video, or you're not gonna try to create one video that will get viral. You have to create a lot of content to see what is good, what is bad, and what is your audience's reaction to it, so you can start improving your content. And another thing that I mentioned in the previous point is make use of psychological triggers that can potentialize your content to become viral. Brands that gets noticed, content that gets noticed and gets viral, they usually create thousands of contents to get one viral content. So you need to create a lot of content, put out a lot of content consistently, that then you might get one video, might get one viral video. So I can say, I'm guessing here, but I'm pretty sure it's not far from that, and maybe it's a very optimistic scenario that only 1% out of all the content created by a brand or someone becomes viral. And I'd say even less than 1%. 99% of all content that people and brands create, they're just normal. They don't get the attention that a viral content gets. And most of brands and most of people might not even get a single content that gets viral. So last thing about viral content is consistent content, is to create less cinematographic or this agency style, these super expensive productions, and go more for quantity. You have to create a lot of content, so then you can start seeing what is better and what is bad, what you should do more, what you should stop doing. And of course, without losing quality and relevancy. And quality here is not the cinematographic style, but you can easily get quality out of a very simple production. Like mine one here, that I'm using my own phone to record. I'm recording in my house, so I just built a very easy and simple scenario, and I'm recording here for you in a very simple and cheap way of production. So I can create a lot, or I can create more content. So let's go to the fourth point that I wrote down here. Quality on digital is quantity consistently improved over time. You will never know what is good and what is not. Your audience will dictate. So what does that mean? It means, first, you cannot set the quality bar. You have to put out a lot of content and see your audience's reaction. And it's an ongoing process. You will never know. Sometimes you create a content that you're thinking like, oh, this content is very good. And then you put out, you get like barely a few likes, a few engagement, a few comments, a few shares, or none. But then you create a content that you think, this is not very good. But then you put out, you post, and then people love it. People share, people comment, and really identify themselves, and it really resonates with the message. So you never know. You are not the one. Keep this in mind. You are not the one that will set the quality bar. You need to create content, of course, content that is relevant to your audience, content that based on your experience, your feedback, that brings value to your audience, but they will judge and they will tell you what is good and what is bad. And this is an ongoing process, always changing. So what you think might not get anything now, you put out one content now and doesn't get anything. 1 year later, you put the same thing and gets a lot of attention. So you never know. So keep creating a lot of content, put out a lot of content, and leave your audience judge the quality of it. The second thing is, the more content you put out, the more overall engagement, attention, and visibility you will get. Because within your audience, you might have one group that reacts to in a certain way to one piece of content, and another group that reacts to another piece of content with a different focus, and the overall engagement increase. Because if you think about, oh, people won't like this piece of content, people will like this piece of content, you start judging yourself, you select the content that you put out, you might get attention of one group, one part of your audience. And in the opposite way, if you put out all the content that you can sometimes get attention of one group, one part of your audience, and another piece of content can get a different type of audience within your audience. So the more content you put out, the more overall engagement, overall increase in visibility and engagement you might get. And the last thing about this topic is create metrics that you can judge your content and measure and evaluate the quality of it. So what you don't measure, I always say that what you don't measure, you don't control. So if you start measuring and you put the metrics that you want to judge if the content is good or not based on engagement, based on feedbacks, based on comments, based on reach, any metrics that you can you think is relevant for your business, for yourself, and then start creating elements to see to guide your future content. So you start knowing what is good, what works, and what doesn't work for you, for your audience, for your content. So let's go to the last point that I wrote down here. Do you really need viral content for your brand? And this is a question for you to really stop and think about it. What is a viral content? A viral content, it usually gets like the world's attention. Everyone know, everyone share. If you comment, if you chat with your friends, if you chat with your parents, with your kids, everyone know about it. But do you really need to get everyone's attention? What is your target audience? What is your prospects? If you get their attention, if you get noticed, if you are well known within your target audience, I'd say that you don't need viral content. And again, it's really hard for you to get one piece of content that gets viral. So you'd rather focus on your audience, what is relevant for them, and really work on the quality and the quantity of content that you put out. And you might get their attention, you might get noticed, you might increase your brand awareness, increase your visibility, and become top of mind for your target audience instead of chasing the viral content dream. The less you focus on creating viral content and the more you focus on creating content that's relevant for your audience, you start building a stronger connection with them, and your content start getting stronger and more relevant, more engaging. So that's it for today. I hope this content was helpful and really relevant for you as a marketing professional to use in your strategy, in your daily activities. And see you on my next podcast.